It has been a very busy day in the ClausenWorld kitchen. Now, like many of you, I am out there pulling food out of the garden and trying to figure out how to preserve it, how to process it. And today has been a day of dehydrating as well as canning. I feel sick to my stomach and I am exhausted. So welcome to the ClausenWorld canning experiment. 2. I'm on my second canning experiment today. So if you haven't seen that other one, go check that out and then come back and take a look at this one, because this one I'm done. I can't do any more today. So come on, join. Kitchen, I have several things happening. I've got the pressure canner over there. You probably hear that coming down from pressure. I have mushrooms that I am hot packing and putting into this container so that they can go into the pressure canner next. Now what I did was I followed the recipe out of the Ball's Blue Book, Ball's Pressure Canning Blue Book. And I am just taking these mushrooms out, and I'm going to use the water in here to hot pack it. All I did was wash my mushrooms, rinse them off, chop them up, or actually cut them into 4 pieces. And now I let them boil for about 5 minutes, a soft boil for about 5 minutes. And now I am just placing them inside of the jar. And I think I have just enough for 1 jar. And this is a quart-sized jar. And once I finish putting the mushrooms in there, I will use this liquid as the hot pack. Now I don't know how long it's going to take for the canner to depressurized, but I'm listening to it and it sounds like it is really going inside. It's really still, it's still very hot. It is bubbling feverishly. I can hear it. So I'm just trying to get these mushrooms out of here. I may have to use a smaller jar, not a pint size. There's not enough in here for a pint size jar. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I've got a couple more in here. Once I begin to squish them down a little bit, move them around, debubble the jar, they may shift, and I may not have to worry about putting them into a smaller second jar. Now these mushrooms are going to be for soup in the wintertime, or a saute or something that I'm doing. So I am just going, oh yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Can you guys see that? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, now I'm going to do just a quick debubble just to make sure that I am, and I'm going to put more liquid in here, so I probably should have waited, but you know, I'm just so excited to debubble, you guys. All right, let me get my ladle. And I'm going to ladle this mushroom broth into this jar to about a 1-inch headspace. And even though I don't have any more mushrooms, I'm going to can this mushroom broth. That mushroom broth is not going to go to waste. So I do have 2 jars sitting in the sink that has hot water in it. So I'm just going to debubble these mushrooms like so. I don't know if you guys saw the bubbles coming to the top, to the surface, but I debubbled. I'm going to take this paper towel right here, and I'm going to take and dip it into the vinegar that I have that's really close to the camera. Got some white vinegar right here. And I'm going to wipe off the rim, making sure I didn't get any of that mushroom juice on the rim. Now I have my lids right here. I know you guys cannot see them, but I promise you they are here. They are sitting in hot water. I am going to place it just like that. Get my ring off to the side. Woo, that jar is warm, y'all. Fingertip tight. I'm going to move that off to the side like that. I am going to get my other jar out of the sink. And it just had hot water in it to keep it hot, keep it warm. You don't want to put cold, you don't want to put hot liquid in a cold jar. That could lead to cracking or breaking, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to get my funnel. And this mushroom juice liquid, it does have some seasonings. I did put a little bit of seasonings. I tried to season up that those mushrooms so they turn out pretty good. I put in there some onion powder, garlic powder, some black, white, red, green, cracked pepper with a tiny bit of mustard seed, and a little bit of kind of like a chicken bouillon kind of a powder. Non-GMO chicken bouillon. So I'm just putting this in here like so. Just trying to fill it up. And I do not believe I'm going to be able to get another quart size filled up, but we'll see. 1 inch headspace. Don't need to debubble that because, you know, that's liquid. I'm going to get my lid like so. And then my ring off to the side. Fingertip tight. Shift that over there near the mushrooms. And I'm gonna try this quart size. I think it's not enough liquid to put in here. I think that might only be a pint size. But we shall see. We shall see. If not, I will have to go and get a pint jar from out of the back and wash that up real good. Okay, now let's see if I can get this in here without making a huge mess all over the cabinet. Well, look at that. Look at that, you guys. Let's see. I could probably put a tiny bit more in the last jar. Because now that I look at it when I stand back, it's a little bit less than a 1 inch headspace. So we're going to put a little bit more in that last jar. I'm going to get the lid if I can get it out of there. Come on, lid. There we go. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put vinegar. Hello. That's okay. Sometimes we forget stuff. But good thing we remembered, right? Take the lids off. Put them back in the hot water. Let's try this one more time. We're going to place that funnel on there. And we're going to pour this tiny little bit of juice left, just like that. Yep, that looks about right. Okay. Now I'm going to take my paper towel with my vinegar. Sorry, my hand is so close to the camera. I'm going to wipe the rims off, like so. And rings back on. All right. I feel like I'm doing something here, y'all. Fingertip tight. Fingertip tight. Now what I will use this for is broth for soup. Broth if I don't feel good and I just need a little bit of broth. I'm going to take this lid off and I'm going to put a little bit more liquid in here because I got a tiny bit more left, just a tiny bit. Uh-oh. I might have overdid it. It's a tiny bit too much. Well, let me debubble. Let me see. Hang on. I need to clean my chopsticks. I just put it in the sink. And even though I cleaned the sink out, I've been pouring stuff in the sink. And I didn't clean it in between. So just to make sure that I don't have anything that I don't need to have on my chopstick, I just need to clean it off. So I cleaned it off. Now let's debubble one more time to make sure that I didn't overshoot that 1-inch headspace. All right. I think we're good. Woohoo! All right. We're going to take that paper towel, vinegar, water. Actually, it's not water, it's straight vinegar. We're going to wipe that ring off, or that rim off. We're going to get our lid. Now this part of the process I feel comfortable and confident about. I'm really not feeling 100% confident with these mushrooms because even though I didn't see any issues with the mushrooms, I just bought them today, fingertip tight. When you clean mushrooms, mushrooms begin to turn a sandy color. And reading the bulb book, you have to make sure that none of your food has any blemishes or is old. And mushrooms make me feel really tight in the stomach. So I'm going to clean this up, put this all into the sink over here so I can wash it up later. And this is going to go into the canner once my tomato soup comes out of the canner, or my tomatoes. And then this will go in, and then I will be done with canning for the day. Now the canner is still very hot. It's probably going to take anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour for it to cool down. But I think I heard a pop inside of the canner, so I don't know what's happening. But yeah, this is not about what's in there. That's about what's right here. So I am doing a bunch of stuff today. This is the second half of the mushroom video. The first part was the dehydration, and this is canning of the mushrooms. So now I have mushrooms 2 different ways for the fall. And I've got some broth that I wasn't anticipating getting. So I'm twice. Hey, I hope you guys can see me. I am, and I'm sorry that you guys are so far away, but I've got the camera uploading on my phone, and I've got like I said, I've got an upload going on my phone, so I'm doing two things at once. I've been in the kitchen for quite a while today, but you all saw me can up the mushroom broth as well as the mushrooms. The canner has come up to a boil, so I am going to place these warm jars into the canner. Now you guys know I can't talk to y'all and do this all at the same time. Too much going on. Alright, so I have those in the canner, and now it's time to put the lid on. And I am never good at putting this lid on. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so now we're going to wait for this to come up to pressure. You all have seen this step, but I'm going to show it to you again. The pressure canner, the safety valve in the back has popped up. The pressure valve has popped up. I am waiting for the little weight to do its little bobble, wiggle wobble. And once that starts happening, we'll count down and we're canning. So my stomach is a mess. I still feel sick from the first canning experiment. I don't know how people can, because I feel like it's not for me. Did you guys hear that pop? I hear this random pop inside the canner and it makes me think my jars are exploding. Okay, let me back away from this thing. All right, everyone, we're at that point where I am getting the wobble. Now, the one thing I can say about pressure canning is I know where to put the dial on my stove in order to get that immediate sweet spot wobble without having to go up and down with the heat. So I feel pretty confident about that, but everything else, yeah, I don't feel confident about that at all. So I'm going to start this. These mushrooms need to be in here for 45 minutes. The timer has been set, so let me turn that on. All right, 45 minutes it is. Okay, 45 minutes has passed. I just turned the alarm off. I just turned the fire off because I have a gas stove. And now I'm going to try to shift this canner to the back and let it sit back there and depressurize. So slowly but surely, we are getting it done. All right. So I have moved it to the back, and it's going to sit there until it completely depressurizes. And then I'm going to open it up and let it sit for an additional 10 minutes and let it cool off. Let some of that interior steam come out. And then you guys will see what I have accomplished or not with the mushrooms and the mushroom, what do I want to call it? Mushroom broth. All right, so look at there. The weight has stopped wobbling, so we're just going to let it sit here and depressurize because I can still hear it boiling in the inside. 10 minutes have come and gone, and so now I'm going to open up the canner, and then you guys are going to move in and see what we have in there. I did hear a pop, so I'm thinking that the jars didn't explode. So let's see what I have. Promise I didn't look. All right, look at that. I've got mushrooms and mushroom broth. Look at that, you guys. Look at that. And I can actually see the mushrooms are still bubbling. So I am going to take those out and move those off to the side over here. But you all know that I need all of my concentration in order to do that. I cannot do that and have you guys look at me or have me talk to you, because I just can't do it. Now these I have been using, and I don't know how I feel about them. And I also have these jar lifters, and I definitely don't believe that this is going to be what I need either. So I'm going to try taking out one jar with these, and then I'm going to go back to my handy dandy ones that I have been using from the beginning of this candy experience. I just don't like either one of these jar lifters. Maybe because I'm just not confident, or I don't feel comfortable, and so I just feel like I'm going to drop everything all over the place, but I don't like it. So I am going to take out the broth first. Hope I wasn't too close to you guys, but I am trying to get these jars placed accordingly on the mat so that they are not too close to each other and they're not too close to the edge of the counter, because all this hard work for them to fall on the floor would really put me in a bad mood. Okay, now I was gonna use this one, but here's what I feel about this. I feel like the hand grip is exactly what I need for stability, but the actual piece here that touches the jar, I feel like it slips on me a little bit, and that's what makes me second guess. Now this, I don't like this hand grip situation at all, but I don't feel like this part slips. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. So let me get this last jar out of here. All right, I'm gonna move you guys over so you all can see what I have been working on today. And this is just part of what I have been working on today. So let's move you guys over. All right, my canning. Now, disregard that. That was a different video, and I can't remember if I've uploaded that already. It's been a long day, everybody. Oh my goodness. And this is what I just did. So that's my mushrooms for today, and I'm done with canning for a while. I cannot tell you when I'm going to can again. I need to give my stomach and my nerves a break. So from the ClausenWorld kitchen to your home, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next.